blessed to I am so blessed to have this room full of people. I can't even tell you. I cry at Hallmark commercials, so there's absolutely no way I'm going to make it through this without crying. Let's be honest. I cried at E.T. So anyway, I'm not alone. Thank you. Part of the reason I asked if I could speak is that there's so many people here that I love so much that want to have some FAQs, some frequently asked questions, and I really was hoping I could just tell my story once instead of 50 times and crying 50 times, because I think that might just take too much out of me. So here goes. October 2nd, 2010. I kissed my children goodbye to go play dates because I was going to work. At the time, I was doing home health physical therapy, and I had 3 visits that day. I had just moved into an apartment, and I smelled what I thought was a burning rubber smell. So I started walking around my brand new condominium thinking that a fan was on fire, or who knows. I thought something was on fire. Literally on fire. And then all of a sudden, I got into my bedroom, and my left leg collapsed, and I fell into my bed, and I realized I couldn't move my left arm either. The smell was getting stronger, and I'm thinking, okay, I teach this kind of stuff all the time. What are you supposed to do? And I'm like, oh yeah, call for help. So somehow I found my phone, and I called Alan, the man of my dreams, who saved my life literally, because he had just departed company to go to Fort Myers, which is quite a drive. And I would never have asked him to come back unless something was really wrong, and he knew me well enough to know that something was really wrong. So he called the paramedics, and here I've only been there 2 days, and here come these 9 enormous people into my teeny tiny little condo. And of course, they were not moving at my speed. I was not pleased at how fast they're moving because I kept saying, it's on fire. Do you guys not smell it? The house is on fire. It's going to be like 9/11 if we don't get out of here. So I stood up. Yeah, smart. All the PTs in the back of the room were just going, oh, God. And fell promptly onto their stretcher on the other side of my body, so I have bruises everywhere. And we get in the car, and the guy driving the ambulance says, we're just going to go in under normal lights, which means, they're not going to turn on the get out of my way lights. And I'm like, no, we're not. We're turning on those lights. And I'm told that I said, damn the torpedoes, save my brain. I don't remember that part, but that's what I was told I said, and I could see myself doing that. I had a great director in 7th grade who would have put the drama in me. So the whole way there, I'm telling him, it's on fire. Can't you smell it? It's on fire. It's on fire. I'm like, ma'am, there's no fire. You're okay. And then I'm like, okay, Mary, you've just had a stroke. Get over it. You've had a stroke. You've been in court for 5 days. You don't do well in courthouses. You've had a stroke. 44 years old, and the left side of your body's not working. You've had a stroke. So I get into the hospital and start saying, give me TPA, give me TPA. So for those of you who don't know, TPA is the drug you give someone who's had a stroke. But if you haven't had a stroke and you get TPA, it'll kill you. Thank God they didn't listen to me, because I had not had a stroke at all. The doctor then came back in with the MRI results, and I'm going to write a book someday, the top 10 things you don't want to hear your doctor say, because he pops my MRI up and he goes, that is massive. I'm like, delightful. What else you got for me, So the next guy comes in, and he's actually a friend of Alan's who's been pulled off the beach, and literally in his flip-flops and bathing suit. And he says, what did he say? That's huge, or something similarly not like I wanted to hear. So it turned out, after all this fun and games, and one more little ditty that'll make you smile. I had a patient who is now an emergency room nurse who comes up to me, and I started crying a little bit. And she says, Mary, don't you remember when you told me that if you cry, it hurts worse? And all the little kids, cover your ears, or maybe anyway, what I said was, that's a bunch of BS. I said, it doesn't help at all. I'm going to keep crying. Anyway, longer story longer. It turned out that I had a softball-size tumor on the right side of my brain that was pressing onto multiple nerves. The one it was pressing the most predominantly on at that time was my smell, and making me think there was fire where there was none. Also, my son, who's here tonight, had noted a couple days earlier that my eyes were dilating differently. because it was at times that softball was pressing on my optic nerve and screwing up my vision. So that ought to make you excited. I was driving for 5 years like that. So I had to be rushed to have a craniotomy to do a biopsy, and my friend snuck my kids up the back doorway so I could see them before the craniotomy, and came out with the diagnosis of, I'm not going to be able to say it after all these years, astrocytoma, which is actually normally found in children. Isn't that apropos, for those of you who know me, for me to have a kid-like disease? And all of the research that's been done is coming out of St. Luke's. Thank you, Mario Thomas, or whatever her name is. Marlo Thomas, thank you. Yeah, all her work's helping me. And every time we go to order the dosage, they're like, how many milligrams? I'm like, I'm a grown-up, yeah. I need a big dose. So I had 31 days of radiation. I had chemo for a week, and then I'm off for 3 weeks, then chemo for a week, then I'm off for 3 weeks, and I've done that cycle for about 10 times. And the theory is that the Temodar is going to kill the... No. The truth is that the Temodar is going to kill the cancer from the inside out. It is inoperable because of where it is. It's too close to too many things to go in and cut it out. It's too close to too many things to do that other surgery that everybody keeps asking me about, where you stay awake and they laser it and you say, ow, and they quit. You know what I'm talking about? I can't do that one because it's too close to too many of the bloodlines. Are there any other questions that I didn't think to answer that people want to know? Does it hurt? Yes. What do I need? I got it in this room, in the love of all of you amazing people. And I tell you should turn around and hug the person next to you, because you're in a room of amazing people. Because this is pretty incredible to have this much love on a Friday night. Hi, Rob. And I really appreciate you all. I desperately need prayers. And we do need some financial support, because in and amongst all this other joy, I got dropped by my insurance, which is a whole nother story, and you don't want to get me started, because I will start having seizures and have to leave. So thank you all for coming, and stop talking is what I'm getting the message. But can I do one more thank you? I know. But I just want to thank the bands that are playing and let you know that Wild Rice has their CDs on sale up at the desk that is so artfully manned by Carrie up there. She's working really hard up there. And I asked her to please make sure everybody got a name tag, because it's so embarrassing to stare right at somebody that you've known for 40 years and can't think of their name. So I decided I'd wait till after the stand. Spooky Partridge, thank you very much for playing. And I know there's a third band, and I'm going blank. Rune Dog. Oh, Tim, don't kill me. Timothy Patton will also be playing. And I'm sorry to say the Doughboys aren't going to make it this gig, but we will get Demopier behind a microphone again and see the Doughboys once again. Yes. So the silent auction is still going on, thanks to Sarah Barton. So please help yourself. Have a great time. Love you all. And if I walk away from you, don't take it personally.